Toxic people can drain your energy, disturb your peace, and test your patience. But Stoic philosophy offers a powerful solution, teaching us to focus on what we can control and how we react. By embracing Stoic principles, we can protect our well-being and maintain our peace, no matter how toxic others may be. In this video, we'll explore 8 clever ways Stoic wisdom can help you handle negativity and toxic relationships. Stay tuned as we dive into each strategy to conquer toxic people with Stoic calm. 1. Embrace what you can control. The Stoic approach to self-mastery. 2. Practice emotional detachment. Don't react. Respond, building on the idea of focusing on what we can control. One of the most powerful Stoic tools in dealing with toxic people is self-mastery. The Stoics believe that true power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering ourselves, our emotions, our thoughts, and our responses. By shifting your attention inward and cultivating self-control, you take away the power toxic people have over you. In practical terms, this means practicing emotional resilience. Toxic people often thrive on creating chaos and stirring up emotional reactions. They want you to react with anger, frustration, or anxiety, because these emotions keep you trapped in their toxic web. But when you master your emotions, you stop giving them that power. You begin to respond, rather than react. And this change in approach can transform your entire experience. Imagine a scenario where a toxic person makes a hurtful comment or behaves in a way that typically triggers your frustration. In the past, you may have lashed out or let their words affect you deeply. But with Stoic self-mastery, you pause, breathe, and choose your response. You acknowledge the behavior for what it is, but you don't let it define your emotional state. Instead, you focus on maintaining your inner peace and understanding that their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. This shift in mindset doesn't mean you become numb or indifferent to the negative behavior around you. It simply means you no longer allow those behaviors to control your emotions or your peace of mind. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Self-mastery also means cultivating a mindset of detachment. While it's natural to feel hurt or angry when someone mistreats us, Stoicism teaches us that these emotions are temporary and, ultimately, under our control. By practicing detachment, we can observe the behavior without becoming emotionally entangled in it. This detachment allows us to remain clear-headed and make decisions based on logic and reason, rather than being swept away by our emotions. Furthermore, mastering your mind means you take responsibility for your own actions. When you stop blaming others for your emotional reactions, you become empowered. You understand that toxic people can't steal your peace unless you let them. By developing self-discipline and emotional intelligence, you take back control of your life, no longer giving toxic individuals the power to disturb your inner calm. Ultimately, Stoic self-mastery isn't just about ignoring or tolerating toxic behavior. It's about choosing to rise above it. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and emotions, you'll find yourself more resilient in the face of negativity and better equipped to deal with difficult individuals. With this mindset, you can reclaim your peace and power, no matter how toxic the people around you may be. 3. Apply the dichotomy of control. Distinguish between what you can and can't change, building on the importance of self-mastery. Another key Stoic principle that helps in dealing with toxic people is emotional detachment. Toxic individuals often thrive on triggering strong emotional reactions, whether it's anger, guilt, or frustration. But by practicing emotional detachment, you gain the ability to observe their behavior without allowing it to control your emotions. This isn't about becoming cold or indifferent, but rather about creating a healthy space between what happens around you and how you respond. Emotional detachment allows you to stop reacting impulsively. Instead of being swept away by the toxic person's actions, you can step back, breathe, and make a thoughtful decision about how to proceed. Imagine a scenario where a toxic person tries to provoke you into an argument or uses hurtful language. In the past, you might have felt compelled to engage, to defend yourself, or even to retaliate. But with emotional detachment, you take a step back. You realize their behavior is a reflection of them, not of you. You choose not to engage with their negativity, thus protecting your emotional well-being. This practice is particularly powerful in toxic relationships, whether in personal or professional settings. When you detach emotionally, you remove yourself from the emotional charge. That often fuels these interactions. Instead of getting caught up in their drama, You can observe the situation with clarity, choosing to maintain peace and stability. It's about not allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your emotional state. One of the core teachings of Stoic philosophy is that our emotions are the result of our thoughts and beliefs. When we change how we think about a situation, we change how we feel about it. For example, if you view a toxic person's words as an attack, you might feel hurt, angry, or defensive. But if you shift your mindset to recognize that their behavior is rooted in their own insecurities or issues, you no longer take it personally. This cognitive shift weakens the emotional grip they have on you. By practicing emotional detachment, you also create space for self-reflection and personal growth. Instead of responding out of anger or frustration, you take time to assess the situation and determine the best course of action. It allows you to focus on your long-term peace and goals rather than being pulled into a temporary emotional reaction. Emotional detachment doesn't mean avoiding conflict or shutting down emotionally. It means you have the power to choose your emotional response. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. By practicing emotional detachment, you reclaim that power, allowing you to handle toxic people with calmness, clarity, and strength. Develop resilience. The Stoic art of endurance in the face of adversity, building upon the power of emotional detachment. Another essential Stoic principle for dealing with toxic people is the dichotomy of control. This concept encourages us to clearly distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. When dealing with toxic individuals, it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to change their behavior, thinking we can somehow fix or manage their negativity. However, Stoicism teaches us that we only have control over our own actions, thoughts, and responses, not others. Understanding the dichotomy of control is a game changer when dealing with toxic people. Rather than expending energy trying to change someone's mindset or actions, we focus on our own response. This shift in perspective allows us to stop reacting out of frustration or helplessness, because we accept that certain things, like someone's toxic behavior, are beyond our influence. For example, consider a situation where a toxic coworker constantly undermines your work or speaks negatively about you behind your back. In the past, you might have become fixated on changing their behavior, perhaps by confronting them, arguing with them, or trying to gain their approval. But with the Stoic approach, you focus on what's in your control, your reaction. You choose to not engage in unnecessary conflict, maintain professionalism, and refuse to let their negativity affect your peace. The toxic person's actions are outside your control, but how you respond is entirely up to you. The dichotomy of control also empowers you to prioritize your energy on things that truly matter. Instead of wasting time and emotional resources on trying to change others, you can focus on improving your own life, your goals, your growth, your happiness. This focus on what you can control not only helps you manage toxic people, but also fosters a deeper sense of inner peace, because you no longer feel weighed down by circumstances outside your control. One key part of this Stoic principle is learning to let go of expectations. Often, we feel disappointed or hurt by toxic people because we expect them to behave differently or treat us with respect. When those expectations aren't met, we're left feeling betrayed or upset. But by applying the dichotomy of control, we shift from expecting others to change to accepting that we can only control our own behavior. This mindset frees us from unnecessary emotional turmoil and allows us to move forward with a sense of calm and acceptance. By understanding and applying the dichotomy of control, we not only manage our interactions with toxic people more effectively but also reclaim our power. We stop being at the mercy of others' behaviors and instead take full ownership of how we respond. This Stoic lesson serves as a reminder that our peace comes from within, not from trying to control or change the toxic forces around us. 5. Adopt the Stoic virtues. Wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Building on the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control, another powerful tool for dealing with toxic people is the development of resilience. The Stoics believe that life's challenges, including the presence of toxic individuals, are opportunities for growth. Instead of letting negativity break us down, we can use these moments to strengthen our character and build emotional endurance. Resilience, from a Stoic perspective, isn't about avoiding difficulties or suppressing emotions. It's about developing the ability to face adversity head-on, without allowing it to overwhelm us. Toxic people will always exist in some form, whether they're critical coworkers, manipulative friends, or unsupportive family members. But rather than reacting impulsively or letting their behavior erode our sense of well-being, Stoicism teaches us to use those encounters as a chance to practice patience, self-discipline, and emotional control. When faced with toxic behavior, a resilient mindset allows us to rise above it. Rather than being dragged into petty arguments or emotional outbursts, we can observe the situation with clarity and choose to respond thoughtfully. For example, if a toxic person belittles you in front of others, instead of reacting defensively, you can calmly decide how to address the situation, or even choose to walk away. Resilience means not being pushed off course by the negativity of others, but maintaining a steady course toward your goals and inner peace. One of the best ways to develop this resilience is by shifting our perspective. Stoics encourage us to view challenges, including difficult people, as training grounds for our personal growth. The more we face and overcome adversity, the stronger we become. Rather than seeing a toxic person as someone who can disrupt your life, view them as a test of your patience, self-control, and ability to maintain your calm under pressure. In practical terms, resilience is built by taking proactive steps to manage your emotional state and responses. This includes practicing mindfulness, maintaining a healthy routine, and cultivating a strong support system. Stoicism also teaches the importance of gratitude, which can help shift our focus away from the negative actions of others and instead, direct our attention to the positive aspects of our lives. By consistently practicing these habits, we begin to strengthen our mental and emotional fortitude. Resilience doesn't just help us deal with toxic people in the moment. It equips us to handle future challenges with grace and wisdom. The more resilient we become, the less we'll be affected by the negativity around us. In the end, the toxic people who once seemed to have power over us will no longer have that hold because we will have built the strength to maintain our peace regardless of their behavior. By embracing resilience, we not only protect our emotional well-being but also unlock a greater sense of personal power. The Stoic mindset reminds us that we are not defined by the toxic people in our lives, but by how we choose to respond to them. 6. Set boundaries and know when to walk away. The Stoic mindset of self-respect building on the development of resilience. Another essential Stoic principle for dealing with toxic people is the adoption of virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues provide the foundation for how we engage with the world and, more importantly, how we handle difficult relationships. When we embody these Stoic virtues, we can navigate even the most challenging interactions with toxic people in a way that preserves our integrity and inner peace. Wisdom, the first of the Stoic virtues, allows us to see toxic behavior for what it is, an expression of the other person's struggles or limitations. Instead of taking their negativity personally, wisdom helps us understand that their behavior is not a reflection of our worth, but a projection of their own emotional state. This awareness removes the emotional sting from their actions and helps us maintain a clearer perspective. Courage is another crucial virtue when dealing with toxic individuals. It takes courage to set boundaries, to stand up for ourselves, and sometimes to walk away from toxic relationships. Often, toxic people thrive because we allow them to cross our boundaries without consequences. Stoicism teaches us that it takes great courage to defend our peace and well-being, even if it means facing confrontation or discomfort. By embodying courage, we can be firm in our choices without feeling guilty or afraid. Justice, the third virtue, encourages us to treat others fairly and with respect, even if they don't do the same. When dealing with toxic people, it can be tempting to respond with hostility or revenge. But Stoicism reminds us that justice is not about retaliation, but about maintaining fairness and equanimity in our actions. It's about doing what's right, regardless of how others treat us. By practicing justice, we ensure that we don't become the very thing we're trying to avoid, toxicity in our own behavior. Temperance, the final virtue, teaches us the importance of self-control and moderation. It's easy to become reactive or overindulgent when dealing with toxic people, whether by sinking into anger, frustration, or emotional exhaustion. Temperance helps us maintain balance and not allow external circumstances to dictate our emotional state. By practicing temperance, we develop the ability to handle even the most provoking situations with calmness and restraint. Together, these Stoic virtues provide us with the tools to face toxic people with strength, clarity, and moral integrity. Rather than becoming consumed by their negativity, we can choose to rise above it, embodying wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in all our interactions. By doing so, we not only protect our peace but also create the space to foster healthier, more positive relationships in our lives. The Stoic virtues offer a roadmap to navigate toxicity without losing ourselves along the way. Embrace the power of silence and let go of the need to engage, building on the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Another powerful Stoic approach to dealing with toxic people is the use of silence. Silence is not just the absence of words, but a deliberate, conscious choice to disengage from unnecessary conflict. In many situations, toxic people seek validation, attention, or emotional reactions from others. When we choose to remain silent, we deny them this power, effectively disarming their negativity. Silence doesn't mean passivity or weakness. It's a form of strength and self-control. It's an active decision to not engage in toxic conversations or behaviors. The Stoics believed in the power of choosing silence when speaking would only add fuel to the fire. For example, when confronted with hurtful comments, rather than reacting or defending yourself, you can simply pause, breathe, and choose not to respond. This act of silence signals that you are unaffected by their words and unwilling to participate in the toxicity they are trying to stir. By embracing silence, you also protect your emotional energy. Engaging with toxic people often leads to wasted time, frustration, and emotional burnout. When you remain silent, you save yourself from getting caught in their drama and negativity. This quiet strength preserves your peace and allows you to maintain control over your own mind and actions. Moreover, silence can be a powerful boundary-setting tool. Sometimes, toxic individuals push and provoke others because they sense a response is coming. When you choose to stay silent, you take away the opportunity for them to provoke you further. This silence is a powerful form of resistance. It communicates that you will not tolerate toxic behavior and will not be manipulated or dragged into a negative spiral. In addition to protecting your peace, silence also offers clarity. When we speak impulsively, we often say things we later regret. By remaining silent, we create space for reflection, allowing us to respond thoughtfully when the time is right. This pause can prevent us from escalating conflict and can often help to defuse a toxic situation altogether. Silence allows us to choose our words wisely and to act with the calm wisdom of a Stoic, rather than reacting out of anger or frustration. Finally, silence is an effective way to show that we are not dependent on external validation or the opinions of others. Toxic people often try to manipulate, criticize, or belittle others to feel superior. When we remain silent, we demonstrate that their opinions do not affect our self-worth or peace of mind. It's a reminder that we do not need their approval to feel validated or at peace. By embracing silence, we take control of our interactions with toxic people. It's a subtle but powerful way to protect our emotional well-being and maintain our inner peace, while also sending a clear message that we will not engage in toxic behavior. As the Stoics taught, sometimes the best response is no response at all, because silence, in itself, is a powerful tool for peace and strength. If you found these Stoic principles helpful in dealing with toxic people, don't forget to hit that like button and show some love. Your support means the world to us and helps spread the message of peace and resilience. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your opinions in the comments below and let us know how you deal with toxic people in your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't stop here. Be sure to check out our other videos for more powerful insights on personal growth, wisdom, and living your best life. Subscribe, and stay tuned for more inspiring content. Let's continue this journey together. Glowing Star.